To say that manga collecting is happy, sunshine and rainbows 100% of the time would be a complete and utter lie. Whether you're a new collector who just bought their first volume or a seasoned veteran who's been collecting for years, you're going to run into what we call pet peeves. Certain things that just annoy you and get on your nerves to no end. Everybody has them, and I actually did my own manga pet peeves video about a year or so ago, but I just have so many things that annoy me that I have to do another video. And in this video, some of my pet peeves are coming directly at you. So many of you guys, I guarantee, do some of these things that just kind of irk me and make me mad about manga collecting. So stay until the very end to see if I am indeed calling out you. But this video is all in good fun. I really hope that you all enjoy. If you enjoy it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this, and leave down in the comments below your own personal manga pet peeves. With all that being said, without any further ado, let's get right into a couple things that bug me about manga collecting. Alright, so the first pet peeve of this video is something that is so annoying, and I bet all of us at one point will run into this problem, if not multiple times as I have, but that is when you're collecting a manga series and there's just the one or two volumes that are impossible to find. Now, as you can probably tell from my manga collection, I have collected a lot of out-of-print manga, including some series where basically every single volume is either really rare or really expensive. But that's not what I'm complaining about today. What I am complaining about is when an entire series will basically be in print or really cheap, but then there's just that one volume that costs like $200 for absolutely no reason. A couple of examples of this would be things like Rurouni Kenshin Viz Big 9. I know some of these may be a little bit more rare now, but when I was collecting it, this was like the only one that cost over $100. Then you have other series like Knights of Sidonia Volume 14, which is stupid rare compared to the rest, and probably the most infamous, Bokurano Hours Volume 3. Again, I think as time has gone on, a couple more of these volumes are more rare now, but for the longest time, this volume right here was the only volume that was hard to find, and it was the only one that was stupidly expensive. So not only does this pet peeve make it where you potentially have to spend a lot more money than you anticipated when trying to complete a series, but if you buy all the imprint volumes and you just have that one slot missing where that volume is supposed to be, that is annoying. And when it comes to buying used manga, believe it or not, I'm really not that much of a stickler when it comes to things like condition and ex-library copies. But the one thing that I absolutely cannot stand about library copies is when they have these stupid laminated covers. Now, it'll probably be a little bit hard to tell on video, but sometimes library copies will have this really hard, stiff plastic over their front and back covers, and you just can't bend them, and it makes reading them a pain. I guess the purpose is to protect the books from wear and tear, which I get, but there are so many other ways to do that than putting this stupid, annoying thing that hinders the reading experience of the volume itself. And when it comes to library copies, you can usually remove things like stickers, sometimes even the stamps on the top of the book if you use sandpaper, but no matter how many times I've tried, I can never properly remove these stupid laminated covers. I'm ashamed to admit, but I have accidentally destroyed a couple out-of-print volumes just because I was trying to fully restore them and ended up basically tearing the entire cover off. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come to start digging in to you at home. These things that manga collectors themselves do, they just kind of rub me the wrong way. And again, I want to say that this is not, a super serious jab at anybody. You can collect and read and all that stuff with the hobby however you want. But me personally, I'm gonna judge you a little bit if you do these things. The first pet peeve that a lot of people do doesn't really have anything to do with collecting, more so reading and rating series. And that is when people are rating a series and they give it some score with a weird decimal. Like, let's say I finished reading Golden Kamuy and I wanted to give it an 8.3. What exactly does that mean? Now, me personally, whether it be anime, manga, movies, albums, whatever, I grade exclusively on a 1 through 5 or 1 through 10 scale, maybe a 0.5 if I'm feeling a little frisky, but anything in between that just makes no sense. Like, you really think these people, most people anyway, are taking out their calculators and saying, I want to give this 1.2 points deducted for artwork. No, nobody's doing that. It's just something that people do to make it seem like they're more sophisticated and well-learned, like they have very particular taste in the series they enjoy, when in fact they're really just going off of vibes. Now you may be saying to yourself, PromG, nobody gives a rat's ass if somebody grades a manga an 8.3 out of 10. You know they enjoyed a hell of a lot. While that is true, still bugs me. This next pet peeve is something that you sometimes see, not very often, but when I do see it, it just drives me up the wall, and that is bagging manga, specifically bagging manga that is in print or extremely common. Now, the debate of to bag or not to bag your manga has been around since the hobbies existed. Sometimes people will put their manga in protective bags to keep dust, dirt, spider corpses, what have you, out of their books. And while I totally get wanting to preserve your books, I do think there is a point that just kind of goes beyond what is necessary. Now, I really don't have a problem if you want to bag your rare or old manga that is more susceptible to the conditions of the environment and dust and yellowing and whatever. But when you're bagging up your Spy Family set to protect it from the elements, I think that's a little bit too far. The first reason is that I just think bagging manga makes it look ugly in general when you have a bunch of plastic lining your shelf. I think it takes away from the aesthetic value of collecting manga a little bit. But when we're talking about a brand new manga volume, I just think it makes no sense. This volume is going to maybe get a little bit yellowed in like 20 years time. Why are you making your manga collection look so ugly to protect this book you can get for $7 at Walmart? And then every single time you want to read the volume, you have to untape the little flap and then put it back in. It's just a whole other step. I don't like it. I don't bag my manga, and especially not my new and imprint stuff. And now we have the final pet peeve of this video, the one that really inspired me to create this video in the first place. And this is one I see basically on a daily basis as I'm scrolling through manga collectors, people posting their collections. It just drives me the most insane out of any of these. And that, my friends, is when people store their box set manga outside of the box. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about manga box sets. We've all seen them. You might have some, specifically ones like One Piece, Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach, you know, the typical suspects, where they come inside of this lovely box that stores them all in a compact space so you can save space on your shelf and have some cool looking artwork. But there are these certain degenerates, you may even be one yourself, I'm looking at you, who takes the manga immediately out of the box set, puts the volumes on the shelf, and then throws the box away or puts it on top of the shelf or whatever. Removing the entire functional aspect and making kind of a decorative piece for your manga collection, I have always just thought is really dumb. Hey guys, Editor PromG here. Just wanted to say that I completely forgot about the biggest reason I despise people taking their manga out of the box sets. That's because manga box sets protect your books from dust and sunlight, which can damage the condition of your manga. So having them out of the boxes just leaves them susceptible to the environment, which just makes my skin crawl. Also, don't mind the fact that my headphones are literally falling apart. YouTube doesn't pay me enough. Now, before you guys get too mad at me in the comments, I understand why people take their volumes out of the box sets and display them on the shelves. You want to look at the spines, you want to see the cool spine artwork, I get it. Some people also display these volumes to make it seem like their manga collection is more filled out, like they have more manga than they actually do, which I kind of think is dumb. Just keep it in the damn box. And sometimes buying the box set can actually be cheaper than buying the volumes, you know, individually by themselves. So I get buying the box set just for other reasons or doing whatever you want with the volumes. I think I'm just petty because I don't have any more space in my manga collection. So every time I see somebody taking up unnecessary space that could easily be saved by just keeping the manga in the box, I get jealous, I get angry, and I just wish I had more shelves and room to put my books on. So yeah, I'm not afraid to admit that that last one is purely based on my own jealousy and just being bitter I have no more space left. But nevertheless, every time I see it, it just gets on my nerves. So if you're watching this and you see my point, put the manga back in the box. If not for your sake, for mine. But anyways guys, that's going to do it for this manga pet peeve video. Again, all in good fun, do whatever you want with your manga collection, but hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to leave down in the comments below your own manga pet peeves. We probably have some in similarity. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. So yeah, this has been ThePromG. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and as always, hope to catch you in the next one.